I don't think the world has ever been equal. I think this whole idea of equal rights, I do believe we should have equal rights under the law, right? I'm not saying that women should completely and utterly be slaves. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that the modern society we live in has been built by men. Let's cut the crap. All the roads you see, all the buildings you see, everything around you, men built. All of it. When women come along and say, oh, we're just as important, you are just as important, but you had a completely different role. You fulfilled a different role in society. And I think now, if you look at the roles of society, I believe men are still doing their job, but I don't know if women are doing their job. Women's job always was procreation, to look after the family and to look after the man. That's all that they had to do. And the man would go out there and risk his life and spend his time building the modern world. Men are still out here building the modern world. But when they come home now, the girl's like, oh, why should I cook for you? I think women are failing in their role. I think women are failing. The reason I talk about women the way I do is because I hold myself to such a high standard as an individual. I don't make mistakes. I'm a professional. I know exactly how to act and exactly what to do. I do not need a woman to motivate me, to be my mother, to convince me to put the video games down. Please stop smoking weed. Everything I've done, fantastic. I've done completely and utterly by myself. I did it without you. My life's amazing in every single possible metric. Now I'm going to allow you to join it, and therefore you're going to bend to my reality and my will. That's not me being arrogant and a psycho. That's me just being completely realistic about my achievements as an individual.
That's a pretty good case.
Cobra, I am exhausted. What woman can keep up with you? You're so much energy.
That's why I have a few. You know what the most beautiful thing in the world is? It's love. And I mean this in a non-corny way. When a man truly loves a woman and a woman truly loves a man, and they're together ride or die no matter what, that is truly beautiful. And let me tell you something. A man can do things that men do and still be completely obsessed and head over heels in love with his woman. I know as a fact, no matter what any of you say, if you take another dick, you will never love your man the same. I don't care what lie you try and tell. I don't care you saying, oh, it was just sex. Bullshit.
Here's the thing. I trust women to be women.
But that's not fair to be so generic like that. You can't be like every bitch is a cheater. But then
I never said that.
But then no, that you basically did though. Like
no. I said I could trust women to be women. And what are women? Women are creatures that don't have the same emotions day to day. Your emotions change and fluctuate at different times. They're emotionally driven. And guess what's the problem with emotions? They're erratic and not normalized. So you could feel a certain way on a certain day, go off of your emotions, make a terrible mistake, come back and say, oh my God, I just made me feel a certain way. And now who's got to deal with the bullshit? I do. And my thing is this. I understand women go with the wind. They're followers and they're not leaders. And they're going to go off of what their girls do, which is why I also tell guys, if your girl hangs out with hoes, that's a problem.
A revolution is nothing more than men standing in one place and saying this shit has to change. The reason there's no revolution, despite the absolute tyranny we experience here in the Western world, is because most men aren't allowed out the house because their wife will get mad at them. You have to be home at 10 o'clock. Come home. You're not allowed out. Women are absolutely happy serving a man they respect. Women are absolutely happy saying, you know what? I know I have the best man on the planet and I know I make him happy. Women are happy with that.
Yeah, that's true.
They're far more happy with that than they are working some fucking career.
Yeah.
And some garbage. Oh, I have thoughts and opinions and a job.
Yeah, shut the fuck up.
Have kids, sit at home, be quiet, make coffee.
Yeah.
And it makes everybody happier in the long run. It's good for everyone. I don't know how this is even controversial anymore.
Right.
They say men and women are of the same intelligence, and maybe that's true. But there's a whole bunch of shit which men and women should both be able to do equally as good that men are far better. There's no reason why a man would be better at driving a car than a woman unless he had faster reactions, unless he had something in his brain which allowed him to be more capable at that task. Why are all the best chess players in the world men? Why can't women break down the board and use their logic to compete with a man on a chessboard? I think some of the biggest mistakes men make is listening to girls. Girls don't know what they fucking want.
Yeah.
Girls don't know what they want. Ask a girl what she wants to eat. She doesn't know what she wants. She doesn't know what they want with anything.
What do you want? What do you want?
It's not that simple.
What do you want? God damn it. What do you want?
A man having sex with multiple women is not nearly as disgusting or degrading as a woman having sex with multiple men. It's not the same thing. Pretending it's the same thing is a complete lie. It's a lie on every single level. Women naturally emotionally get coupled or emotionally linked to a person they have sex with, because if they get pregnant by that person is responsible for keeping them alive. Facts. Whereas a man, I can fuck a bitch. You know what I'm saying, right? We can genuinely be emotionally detached. Because we are biologically designed to be genuinely emotionally detached. You heard the math about how many men have reproduced since the dawn of human time?
Roughly 40%, right?
Right, yeah. Whereas 99% of women have reproduced. Bam. Meaning that 40% of the men were fucking 99% of the women. Bam. So since the dawn of human time, a few men had all the chicks. There are actually far less genuinely, and I'm not talking about the guys who front, genuinely high value men than there are pretty girls. You can go to any club in any country in the world. I've been to 72 countries. You can go to any club in any country in the world and see pretty girls. If you're gonna find a young, in shape, smart, tall, intelligent, rich man, it's extremely difficult to find. And that man has options. He has more options than a beautiful girl. And I'll tell you something, what a high value man respects. When he meets a girl that's genuinely ride or die, as in, I'm with this man, I like this man loves me, I love him. He fucked that bitch, but it doesn't matter because he came home to me. Right. That man has choices. Why would he choose a girl who thinks, oh, if he sleeps with another girl, I'll go sleep with some dude. He'll just ignore you. He won't be with you.
A life without children is vapious, and it's inane, and it's pointless. And you may sit here and think that your career matters, but the truth is that your job will fire you out of whim and not give a solitary shit. So and when you're 52 and you're past it with no grandchildren in a house by yourself, and all your friends have grandchildren in this beautiful life, and you're sitting there by yourself, do you think the fact that you can afford a few extra Gucci bags is going to genuinely make you feel happy? I was at my grandmother's 93rd birthday. I looked there. My grandmother had 9 children, because there was my father and 8 more. They all had a bunch of kids, blah, blah, blah. I stood there and I looked at my 93-year-old grandmother, and there was a whole room full with maybe 70 people that came from that one woman. Isn't that remarkable? Yeah. That nobody cared about her career. Nobody asked what job she did. Nobody asked how many times she went to the club. Nobody asked if she had time to go to festivals. No, you had 70 sentient beings, including myself, full of life from one woman who dedicated herself to being a mother and a good wife. That is beautiful. The biggest problem men make on dates is they try too hard, talk too much to prove there's something. Have you ever had that shit?
No, that's the biggest turnoff.
It's the biggest turnoff. Hey, and I've actually got a corporate job, and what happened is I told my boss to need a raise. He gave me a raise, and I got this business card at the.
Like nobody cares.
Shut the fuck up.
Can we?
You know what I do on a date? I turn up with so much social proof. She knows I'm rich.
Period.
And when she wants to know why, I won't fucking tell her. That's the game. The game is for her to sit there and go,
that's true.
Who the fuck is this guy? True or false?
Of course.
That's the game. That's the game.
Women can do it if a man can do it. Girl power, blah, blah, blah. So why are the girls in Afghanistan praying for the men of the Afghani security services to repel the Taliban so they can keep going to school? I thought men and women were equal. Why can't the women do it themselves? Why can't they girl power and get an AK and say, you're not closing my school down, and go teach the Taliban a lesson about fucking female empowerment? Or is the reality of Earth slapping them in the face? That all this liberal garbage and all these stupid ideas, the only reason they're allowed to exist is because somewhere at some point there are men willing to defend the ideas. All these feminists and all these women who believe certain things will refuse to accept that at certain points you're going to need a man to defend your idea. That's what's going to happen. And right now, you have the Afghani security services, which believe in females being educated, who are not prepared to fight for the idea. So the other people, the Taliban, who don't believe they should be educated, who aren't prepared to fight, are about to turn up, walk into school, put some hijabs on them all, and marry them off to goat farmers. What's your female empowerment going to do about that? What have you learned under the pride flag that's going to save you from the hand of Akbar when the food's not ready on time? Nothing! It's all bullshit! all feminism, all girl empowerment, all of this crap means nothing without a man at some point willing to fight the other men who do not agree with it. It's entirely a man's world, regardless of what your female view is. It's always been about different ideologies fought between men. The female's entire life process from head to toe, she never really thinks for herself. I want to say something here, and I hope this video doesn't get taken down for sexism, because I have a lot of love for females. Females are extremely important. They procreate, they create life. Females are beautiful, and they're kind-hearted. And I have nothing against women as a whole. Females don't have independent thought. They don't come up with anything. They're just empty vessels, waiting for someone else to install the programming. Females grow up, listen to their parents. Then they get in some friendship group where they start watching TV. And they believe what society tells them to believe. And they either keep those beliefs, or they throw them away when they meet a man they like. Then they talk gobbledygook, doop, 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 and then they die.
So when a bitch says that shit, you gotta take me home, blah, 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 even though I didn't get no pussy. It's a power play. Don't lose the game. They're gonna respect you more for telling them, get out. Put your fucking foot down. Stop simping on these bitches, man. If they're not fucking, you ducking. Kick them out. Real talk. She has the right to withhold sex. Fantastic. You have the right to withhold your attention and your time and your resources, man. Fight fire with fucking fire. Know your value. Don't waste time on girls that don't earn it, man. No woman is worth your time, your attention, your resources, your protection.
This talk right here will change your whole dynamic of what you think life is and what it really is.
No pads out.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm about to get a little bit pessimistic. And when I say pessimistic, I don't mean in a way that we can't win, but you need to identify threats, right? You're not gonna be able to stop the punch you don't see coming. And you need to understand that the world you live in as a man, in my personal view, has been very purposefully constructed. And it's been constructed in a way to destroy your masculine power and support networks. It's not a coincidence that the things that are on TV are on TV. It's not a coincidence that the laws in regards to men and women are the laws in regards to men and women. It's not a coincidence that men are taught the things they're taught about how they should act, about how they should be, etc. What they are trying to do is destroy your ability to be sovereign and be true to your instinct-based nature as a man. And I'm telling you, this is something that's happening right now in real time. The reason they are doing this is because revolutions are nothing more than groups of men in one place. That's all revolutions have ever been. And as they get more authoritarian and tyrannical, as they start making more and more ridiculous demands of the common man, as they start destroying more and more livelihoods, the last thing they want are brave, strong men who are going to stand up and say no. They want men who are afraid of their wives, stuck at home, paying taxes with kids who don't respect them, who can't get a divorce because they'll lose the house. That's what they want. They want slaves. They're trying to turn men into slaves. That's all you're good for now. Your workhorses, your slaves. And the future of the world, especially in the West, is a further encroachment on your sovereign ability, your sovereign thoughts, your base instincts, the things that make you happy. Absolutely nobody is concerned with male happiness on any level. They don't want you to be happy. They want you to be miserable, a miserable slave in a tax bracket. And you have to understand this. So when you look around you, you have to understand all the things you learned in university, all the shows on TV, when you watch that Friends episode and Joey's making those stupid jokes, all this crap, all of it is very, very purposeful. And the only way you can combat against it is to take significant action.
Have you ever watched Best Gore? Best Gore is like all these videos of the terrible things happening in the world. People getting their heads chopped off, or like drug cartels chopping people up with chainsaws, or people getting shot in the face and all that kind of stuff. I watch all these things, and I don't watch them some kind of sicko. I watch them to try and desensitize myself. Because imagine one day you're sitting in Paris, you're sitting there having a fucking coffee, and terrorists roll through with AKs, and the person next to you has their brains blown out. You're going to stand there and be like, waiting to die like a motherfucker. I'm going to be like, bang, oh, I've seen that before. Okay, boom, boom, duck and dive in, take one terrorist out, next get the AK, go Rambo, take out all of fucking Pakistan like a G. I don't play games. And China's growing its global influence. All the highways in Africa right now are being built by the Chinese.
Damn.
If you're an African dictator and you want highways, the Chinese will build them for you. But there's a nice big lease, and if you don't pay, they also built your power plant. They'll turn it off.
Yep.
Like they know what they're doing, right? The Chinese are extremely smart. So
they control your infrastructure. They control your country.
Yeah, they control everything. and they're the future of the world, right? So if you think like the Chinese do and you're in charge of a country like China, you understand that you need to maintain your population. You need there to be babies being born. You need men who are focused on their tasks and not focused on arguing with their female. And the easiest way to fix that is to give them all subservient wives who are going to give them babies. That's good for that's from the macro planning level.
Yeah.
You don't need a wife who refuses to have kids, who's arguing with this dude. I'm telling you now, I've said this a million times. More male energy, more masculine power has been wasted, has been evaporated into the universe on female arguments than sickness or anything else you can imagine combined. Dang. I guarantee if you were to add up, if a genie were to appear now and he knew all the numbers and were to add up all the hours you spent in bed sick and also all the hours you spent on your phone texting some bitch arguing about some stupid shit, the arguments surpass your illness, surpass your anything you can think of.
That's so true.
You've wasted more of your life arguing about stupid Instagram post bullshit with females. They will suck the power from a man. You can be the most powerful rich man in the world. If you're having
King Solomon.
If you're having women trouble, you can see it on him. He's just something about my wife, blah, blah. And the Chinese we're not going to let our men become like the American.
Yeah.
We're not going to allow that.
Happy wife, happy life.
No, that's bad for China.
Yeah.
They think at a macro level, which we don't do. It's not good for the society as a whole for your men to not be concerned with conquest because their wife is a cunt when they're out busy working. It's true.
No, bro.
You're right.
It is facts. When you can't go home to a safe, stable home that you don't got to worry about arguing with your girl, the food is made, or whatever. Society is built on monogamy with a subservient wife with a strong man in charge. Yep. That's how the United States was built in the 50s with the nuclear family. And now, it's gone, and China's ensuring that toxicness does not come over their side. That's why they ban rap music. That's why they burn any of this Cardi B crap. None of that gets played in China.
It's not about colors. If you're a billionaire and you go into a room and you meet a billionaire from Africa and a billionaire from Mexico and a billionaire from India, do you think that as a white billionaire, you think, oh, black people? No, you don't give a fuck. Rich people all get along, no matter what color they are. The billionaires all stand around and talk, and they're all different colors. Nobody minds. The only people who divide themselves by color are the poor people. And the billionaires ensure this happens so that the poor people can't get together for long enough to overthrow the rich people. It's not about black and white, it's about rich and poor. It's always been about rich and poor. It's not about black and white, it's not about Democrat and Republican. It's not about any of the things that the elites are tricking you into thinking it's about. If you are sitting here thinking, this is about white people and Republicans and I'm a black Democrat, you are low IQ. It's nothing to do with that.
Men don't want these independent, strong women. That doesn't draw me closer to you, because independent is the opposite of teammate. I'm dating you to see how well of a teammate you can be to me. I want somebody with an interdependent spirit. Somebody that's eager and looking for a teammate. Somebody that's been under this world and be like, I don't want to do this by myself no more. Listen, I don't want to do this as a man. I don't want to do life no more by myself. I don't want to be independent no more. I want to be able to rely and trust on another human being. I want someone to help me carry the burdens and the joys of raising children, getting a home, dealing with life and its stresses. I want someone to come home to, someone to share things with. I don't want to be an independent man no more. I want a wife. So why would I be drawing closer to a woman that preaches and takes pride in being independent?
Perfect men never settle down because perfect men don't have to settle down. If you're a low value man, you have to give everything about yourself to try and inspire loyalty from a female. So no man wants to sit home and watch Netflix. No man wants to not roll with his boys. No man wants to be monogamous. No man wants to do these things. But the only way he can try and hope his female is loyal to him is if he's with her every day and he doesn't cheat and he pretends to enjoy the trips to IKEA on the weekend on his only day off. Yeah, I think those curtains, yeah, maybe. Well, they're yellow and the couch is yellow. No man wants that. But if you're a low value man, the only way you can possibly hope that the chick you're with doesn't end up getting fucked by me is to sit there and do all that shit. That's what you have to do, because you want your female to be loyal. Why the fuck would you go to war with America? Imagine you're China or Russia. Why would you go to war with America? If I was China or Russia, all I would do is support the far left policies and destroy the society from the inside out, which is what they've been doing for years anyway. If you don't know this, the KGB and China are the people behind all this Antifa far left garbage. They've been supporting liberalism for a very long time. Liberalism is the easiest way to destroy a nation. So if you want to destroy America, you don't go fight. Russia, you don't say, let's have a war. America's too strong for that now. What you do is you make a whole bunch of men who are too pussy to fight and who hate their own country with liberalism. Easy. So this whole liberal agenda is all being propagated by the external forces anyway. We're living in a world where tradition is being destroyed in real time. Not only are they undermining basic things such as gender, men and women, and everything, gender roles, marriage, everything's being destroyed, but the last traditions are being destroyed. And the saddest thing is, especially in Europe, European traditions are being eroded faster than anywhere else. The traditions in the United Arab Emirates remain, the traditions in Africa remain, the traditions in China remain, but the traditions in Europe are being destroyed in real time. In the last 20, 30 years, all the traditions are getting destroyed. You can't fly the flag anymore, you're a racist, everything's getting destroyed. Everything's getting destroyed. And one of the last vestiges of tradition we had was the British royal family, and now this is being destroyed. Why? Can't you just leave some shit alone? Meghan, couldn't you have had enough grace to just join and say, you know what, it's been this way for a long time, let's just leave it how it is? You think you're doing a good job? It's progress, progressivism. You're a dick. Women, as a whole, are absolutely group thinkers. Females are sheep. Everyone says women are complicated. No, they're not. Women are extremely simple. Women are programmable. Women are blank slates, and they're programmed. And they're either programmed by you as a man, or they're programmed by society. The good wife who obeys her man and cooks for him and cleans for him has been programmed by her man. The woman who goes, I don't need no man, I'm a feminist, that has been programmed by society, by the BBC. They're programmed. They're all born blank, and someone inserts the programming, right? Pretend it's the same as a man running around fucking people. It's absolutely not the same. A man can only cheat if he loves someone else. If I have a woman who I truly love, and I go out and fuck, and I come back to her, and I don't care about her, and I only love my girl, that's not cheating. That's exercise. If she even talks to a dude, it's cheating. Because females are emotionally invested. I have no emotional investment. So no, I'm making this very, very clear. Any woman who was with me never even, the only men they spoke to besides me were my brother, and the guys online who were paying them. That is it. They were absolutely loyal to me. And if they weren't, they got fired. And any feminist will disagree with me, but I'll tell you something. Women are loyal to one thing on the planet. And the only thing they're loyal to is the man they want to have sex with. So every time there was a girl who I wasn't sleeping with, she never lasted long. So then I had these 4 big premises, all these overheads, all these managers that got out of control. So I cut down to like a special forces team of around 8 girls. And that's where I made my most money. When I had 4 girlfriends, my brother had 4 girlfriends, me, my brother, 8 women living in one house.
A life without children is vapious, and it's inane, and it's pointless. And you may sit here and think that your career matters, but the truth is that your job will fire you out of whim and not give a second, don't give a solitary shit. So and when you're 52 and you're past it with no grandchildren in a house by yourself, and all your friends have grandchildren in this beautiful life, and you're sitting there by yourself, do you think the fact that you can afford a few extra Gucci bags is going to genuinely make you feel happy? I was at my grandmother's 93rd birthday. I looked there. My grandmother had 9 children, because there was my father and 8 more. They all had a bunch of kids, blah, blah, blah. I stood there and I looked at my 93-year-old grandmother, and there was a whole room full with maybe 70 people that came from that one woman. Isn't that remarkable? Yeah. That nobody cared about her career. Nobody asked what job she did. Nobody asked how many times she went to the club. Nobody asked if she had time to go to festivals. No. You had 70 sentient beings, including myself, full of life from one woman who dedicated herself to being a mother and a good wife. That is beautiful.
How can you go and sit in front of a therapist and not cross your mind that this therapist has a bullshit life anyway? All these therapists are getting divorces and cheating on their fucking wives and are just as depressed as you. So why the fuck do you think they know anything? If therapists understand psychology so well, why are they not all living these perfect, ideal lives? Well, they're not, because they don't know shit. And I say this to and we're going to get onto my story about therapists. When I said this to therapists, they go, oh, we don't claim to be perfect. Well, if you don't claim to be perfect, then what you know doesn't mean shit. If you're telling me that your own knowledge cannot be applied to yourself to provide yourself with the perfect life, then you cannot provide anyone else with a perfect life. Therefore, who gives a fuck what you think? You're an idiot. The idea that therapy is somehow necessary or mandatory is just new age Western garbage. I actually watched a really interesting documentary about a girl in the 1970s who was in a plane crash in Brazil, I think it was, somewhere in South America. And the plane crashed and everyone died except for her. And when she woke up, the plane crashed, she was knocked out. She woke up, still in the seat, next to her decapitated mother and dead bodies all around her. She got up, she foraged for food, she had some cuts and bruises, one of them got an infection. For 4 days she was surviving the jungle before she was succumbing to the fever she had from the infection. She laid down ready to die and got found by some local people which nursed her back to health. She ended up going back to Germany. She was a German girl. And they said, well, what happened afterwards? She goes, well, I went to Germany and my dad obviously thought I was dead, but I wasn't. So he told me to get a job and I got a job and that's it. Carried on with life. And literally they asked her, well, didn't you go to therapy? She saw her decapitated mother next to her after a fucking plane crash. And her reply was, no, in those days we didn't do therapy. She just carried on with life. Now you're telling me that she can carry on with life and get on with things after seeing her decapitated mother, after fucking nearly dying from some jungle fever bullshit. But you need therapy because people say mean words to you on the fucking internet? You're a pussy.
Because women confuse this very often. They talk about the fact that men have all the power, men make all the money, men are in charge, and we oppress women. Let me make something very clear to you.
Okay.
Firstly, you're confusing 1% of men with all men. The majority of men have no money, no power, no sex from their wife,
Facts.
no fucking chance in court. They can't even keep their house. They won't get to see their kids, and they don't. So most men, their life sucks.
Okay.
That's the first thing. The second thing, when a man gets up at 4 a.m. to go carry garbage to earn a good wage, he ain't thinking, I'm going to do this so I can oppress that bitch because she's broke. He's doing it thinking so I can provide for my family, so my woman can stay at home and raise my kids and have nice nails while I'm out here carrying trash. You go to a coal mine, those dudes are not down there thinking about oppressing women. They're down there thinking about providing for women.
Okay.
Now, I'm not saying that there's not bad apples, but in general, us men are prepared to take on more bullshit to protect you than you would possibly believe. And in the modern world, they've spun that. Feminism spun that. Men make all the money. You women need more money because men make the money and men are in charge and men have the good jobs. Men are out here giving up their fucking life for you chicks.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
giving up their life for you. And
completely
feminism
agree.
prevents you respecting it. And this is a Western phenomenon. I say this as a man who lives in the East. In the East, women don't think that way. They think, I don't want to make money. I want a man who takes care of me. I want to drive a Bentley. I want 3 or 4 kids. I want the man to make money. And I will respect him for working so hard for me. It's only here in the West they start talking shit, saying, well, I deserve that job too, blah, blah, blah. It's not even, it won't even make you happy. You don't want that job. It's stress. It's unhappiness. It's bullshit. So I agree with what you're saying, but the point about happiness in society, et cetera,
Yeah.
once again, be very, very careful what you say, and you need to resist the slave mind, because as much as you say you're
I agree with
unhappy,
that.
I'm unhappy.
He's making
You're
us
the
so
killer.
Every single society since the dawn of human time, all across the planet, being run by men. All of them. This is not an idea that could have spread. You had the Aztecs and the Mao dynasty. They didn't fucking talk. This is every single civilization that we can ever possibly name or discover, men were in charge. The reason for that is because all the ones where women were in charge got fucking wiped out because they're not competitive. So what happens is, and they lose to patriarchies. So what's going to happen here as we become feminized, as the Western world becomes a matriarchy, as women get more and more influence and power, feminists are fucking walking down the street saying we want the same rights as men. You have more rights than men. There's not a single thing a man can do a woman can't do, but you have a whole bunch of laws in your favor. Yeah. You have more rights than men already. What the fuck are you talking about? And then they say they want to be respected for their ideas, and they get their tits out because nobody gives a shit unless they're naked. So they're fucking dumb. The whole point is that the matriarchy that we are creating in the West is no longer going to be competitive in the long run. We are not going to be competitive. And I'm not going to say what the competition is, but whatever the competition is, if men retain control, we are going to fucking lose. The world is sick.
Cause we got girls out here wearing crop tops, no bra, and their nipples showing, talking about, when are you gonna bring me home to your mother? Bring you home to my mother? That's a suicide mission. Get the fuck out of here.
There's something wrong with American society. People talk about gun problem. There's no gun problem. There's plenty of countries with guns, but America's the only place people are shooting each other, and everyone's just weird. When I was last in LA, I saw so many crackheads and weirdos. I live in Romania. It's a poor country. I don't see crackheads and weirdos. Or you might see the odd weirdo. They keep themselves to themselves. American weirdos are overtly weirdos. Like we were in Taco Bell, some dude, 6'4", plus he had girls' heels on, so 6'6". Must have been an ex-NBA player, a big black guy, talking like a woman. Excuse me, hun, where's the... I was like, what the fuck? Dude was bigger than me. I was intimidated by that shit. A dress on, asking me about hot sauce. I don't know, you motherfucker. Only in America does that shit happen. And then he might have a gun in his purse. America's full of fucking weirdos. The weirdo level in America is off the charts. There's not another place on earth you can go and see more crackhead weirdos in America, especially California. Let's go. The world we live in today tries very, very hard to refuse a man his natural instincts as a man. Yeah. And this is done on purpose. This is not done on accident. There's no war on men on accident. Men are the ones who start revolutions. If you look at any revolution in history, it was the men who were on the street and started that revolution. If you want to control a populace, the first thing you do is control the men. When the Romans went and conquered Sparta, they killed all the men, all the young boys, all the fighting age males. When you're left with nothing but females, you can conquer and control a society. We're living in a world right now where there's supposedly some virus and you have to stay in your house and put a mask on, and everyone's complying like cowards. And the reason is because they've destroyed the masculine spirit in men. If you would have told men 100 years ago, we're going to take your business away, we're going to bankrupt you, and they're going to lock you in your house, every single man would have stood up and said, what? Who are you? You ain't listening to us. The people who are in charge of the world want to control the population, and the easiest way to do that is to remove the warriors from the populace. Facts. That's all it's about. So when men try and act in a masculine way, they're toxically masculine. They demonize us. And then another way they do is they try and shame us. Shame is another tactic. Oh, Andrew, when are you going to grow up and stop fucking all that hot pussy? Grow up.
Who hurt you?
Yeah,
who
like,
hurt you?
Who hurt your feelings? I'm enjoying my life.
So I think some of the biggest mistakes men make is listening to girls.
Okay.
Girls don't know what they fucking want.
Yeah.
Girls don't know what they want. Ask a girl what she wants to eat. She doesn't know what she wants. She doesn't know what they want with anything.
Well, instinctually, she knows what she wants.
Absolutely, instinctually. I say this all the time. Women don't fuck guys they like. They fuck guys they respect. Because they want guys they respect. It's not about like. You know, it's nothing to do with like. It's about respect. So when guys say to me, okay, well, how do I make women respect me? Well, I say, well, how do you respect yourself? That's the first thing. No one's gonna respect you if you don't respect yourself. Do other men respect you? Like, how do you act in a way that commands respect from anybody? If you focus on yourself and make yourself being who you are and being a high value male, women will detect it and it won't be so difficult for you, as opposed to trying to masquerade all the time.
Masculine loyalty is completely misunderstood. All these dudes out here who are at home with their wife thinking they're loyal, you're not loyal. Loyalty is having options and returning to the same place, not only having one option. If I walk into the store and they only sell apples and I buy an apple, I'm not loyal to apples. I don't have a choice. Loyalty is walking in the store where they sell all the fruit. I buy apples 6 days a week. Occasionally I get a big fat pineapple and I go back to apples the day after. That's loyalty. Without choice, there's no loyalty. So most of these dudes and most women who say, he's loyal, he's lame and he can't get nothing else. That's not loyal. Loyal is a dude who has all those options and still is in love with you. That's what loyalty is. So masculine loyalty is completely misconstrued and misunderstood anyway. The truth is about most of these dudes who talk about being loyal, they couldn't get something else if their life depended on it. Nobody wants it.